Today we're going to go hunting for rabbits with a homemade boomerang. Now if you've been watching my videos lately, I've been doing a lot of nature ones, just finding various types of Australian wildlife out in the bush, and I've always been taking my boomerang with me, and that hasn't just been for looks, and I haven't called this channel Boomerang Adventures for nothing. I've been hunting rabbits the whole time and hoping to pick up a rabbit for you to show you how to kill one with a boomerang, which I've done many years ago when I was a teenager. Now I'm just getting my eye back in. I've just got a compilation of very near misses, and it just gives you a good look of how to hit a rabbit and all the form you need to take, and it's just very entertaining anyway, so stay tuned and I'll talk you through it. Normally I don't throw my boomerang into rocks, but I just couldn't help myself this time. This is about a 25-30 metre shot, and I was throwing into the wind, so it wasn't ever going to be a very good shot, but it was just an experiment just to see what would happen. Anyway, the wind got under the boomerang and missed the rabbit by about a metre, but it was fun anyway.
Oh, that had him if that grass wasn't there.
Now this shot here was not too bad, but yeah, he just ran behind the bush on me before I could get the boomerang to him in time. Now I do communicate a lot with my cameraman when I'm hunting, and he's an experienced hunter himself, so I rely on him quite a lot for his positioning of where I want him to stand so he can flush the rabbits out, and of course to get the footage of it when I actually do throw the boomerang off so everybody else can have a look at it. If you want to see one running around,
one of those babies.
there's holes. It's just a full warren in here. Yeah, I reckon I would have hit that rabbit.
That had him. That was tracking perfectly, but then that bloody bush was there. So this thing's going to come running out in a second. So I'll try and push him out towards you.
Yep. This is quite difficult throwing because the rabbits are darting very fast between bushes, and it only gives you a split second really to form up and throw the boomerang and get the boomerang to the rabbit in time before it disappears into the next bush. Unfortunately, it landed at his feet and then it bounced up over the top. Make a bit of noise in there again, Locke. My cameraman here started to stomp on the bush that was holding a few rabbits, so the camera was bumping up and down, but he was still good enough to pick up this rabbit as it came running past. Oh! At the top of his head. Ideally, you should be throwing the boomerang at their feet, because then even if you miss it, it'll bounce up and collect them, but if you go over the top of their head, you're going to miss it every time. Now this one's not such a great shot, but I just want to show you how fast that boomerang actually goes. It caught up to that rabbit in a split second, even though the rabbit's probably running at about 50 k's an hour. This was interesting here because two rabbits came out of the bush at the same time. Initially the cameraman followed the rabbit that I didn't see, and then he noticed that I saw another rabbit after I picked up my boomerang, and I actually just missed that rabbit there. I didn't know how close it was to hitting it until I looked at it later on the computer on the slow motion, and I only just missed it by probably about a foot, and that would have been I'd say a 20 to 25 metre shot. This was a really difficult shot. The rabbit could run either direction and it was over undulating soil, but you never know. It's good to just give it a throw, you might fluke it anyway. I do end up hitting a small lignum bush, so I threw slightly to the left, but that rabbit went right off to the right and there was no way I was going to hit it. This next shot is actually one of the hardest shots you can do. You have the rabbit running straight to your feet and it's close, and you just can't get down low enough to level off the boomerang to give you a bit of time to actually pick up the rabbit. It's even hard with shotgun shooting this kind of shot, so hence I got a little bit frustrated after I do a complete miss in the next throw.
Ah!
I've actually only ever hit one rabbit in this style of throwing a boomerang, so it's not such a bad throw. I probably missed it by about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches over the top of its head. Now this is the best shot I've done in the last few weeks.
Good. Good.
My cameraman saw it before me. First I had to find it, and then I had to find
You got it.
which direction he was running,
You got it, but he ran away.
and then I threw it as best I could.
It hit the ground first, so it lost a bit of momentum. Did you see it hit the rabbit?
Yeah. The guts were gone out of the throw.
It was a 35 to 40 metre shot, and it's quite difficult to see, but you can actually see the rabbit and the boomerang going through the air if you look close enough. And I didn't get a direct hit on the rabbit. I hit a piece of wood that was just in front of the rabbit, and it bounced up and it glanced the rabbit's side and spun it around. And you can see that later on as the clip progresses. Just look over on the left and you'll see some movement, and that's the rabbit and the boomerang. And I'll do it even more of a close up here, but the definition drops right away. But you can actually see the little white tail of the rabbit flicking up, and you do see the boomerang flick across the screen if you look closely. And then on the left side of the screen you see the rabbit tumble, and but he did run away. Now this throw was good because this was the first close shot that I'd had at a rabbit for more than 20 years, so I was quite excited. And after I threw it, I just talked through with the cameraman exactly what happened and why I did it. So this is a bit of hunting strategy for you here.
Oh! I missed him by this much. It went over the top of his head.
I couldn't see him, but I could hear you.
He went where I thought he was going to go. I just wasn't positioned. He went in there. It'd be pretty likely to be a hole in there in bush that size. But I knew he was stuffed because he was in those sticks, and I couldn't see any holes. I thought if I keep coming this way. So then by that time I was here, he went that way. I couldn't get a shot off through those broken branches there, and then he sort of did a U-turn for his holes that are probably in that big lignum bush. By the time I could get a throw off, I had only about a 2 metre window to kid him. Anyway, I was right on track, but he went under the boomerang by a whisker. Anyway, I was happy I got close, but I still didn't get the target. Well, thanks for watching today's episode. I hope you enjoyed watching me nearly hit a rabbit several times. Hopefully I can get one on the run for you very soon. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And also turn on your notifications. That's the little bell thing that lets you know another new video has been done. So I'll catch you next time.
Just get me outside with my boomerang. Get me outside with my